gonna treat it like we are.
Let's treat it like we are.
We're gonna treat. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Jeff Turner Live Show. I can't even tell you if we're really live and on the air right now or not. So, if you're seeing me hang loose, I got the background coming on here, and you know, the same old stuff. There's old Brother Gene. He ain't with us today, but hey, Brother Gene, if you're out there watching the show where great things happen, Jeff Turner Live. Hey, if you're out there and you're watching us and we're on the air, somebody give me a call and tell me we're on the air. The actual cable is out here at the station. We got outbound signal, but we don't have inbound cable. So if I'm live right now and you're seeing me or listening to me, give me a call and let me know we're on the air. Thank you very much, if you would. And let's see, this is my guest. I just met him a few days ago. He was over here checking out the Western North Carolina Community Media Center and facilities. And his name is Mr. Donald Keesing, right?
That's right. You got it right, Donald Keesing. I'm here for a couple reasons. I worked 10 years at Nuclear Information and Resource Service, which is a grassroots hub, information networking facilitation hub for grassroots anti-nuclear energy focus groups internationally that's on Washington. So I was living in D.C. and working full-time. It's more of a lifestyle and a job to have that job. I was doing the bookkeeping, but I was an activist too. So you'd be getting people out of jail at midnight, you name it, you know, it's all there. And we actually have a Southeast office here in Nashville with a wonderful woman, Mary Olson, that because the Southeast has been targeted for new reactors because you know the politics.
And that's on the news just a few days ago.
Right.
We're talking about driving through here towards Aiken, South Carolina.
Nashville is a crossroads of nuclear waste transportation. You got a lot of facilities near here in Tennessee. You got Irwin, Tennessee. You got low level waste there.
Yeah, we want to kind of keep the scenery looking like that, and not with the lines in it we're seeing. But
that's good. But anyway, Mary Olson is a great activist. She's here. I worked with her a decade. I worked from May of 2000, May to 2010. I ended up getting diabetes. I couldn't handle the stress. I was making dumb mistakes. Had to get out of the way before I was a liability and retire. But now, of course, with the Japan situation, meltdowns with that earthquake in Japan, we're all on active duty if we're in the thing. And I want to make sure that people help their anti-nuclear nonprofits out there because I know all those people. I guarantee you, they can't even answer the interview requests. They're overwhelmed. They need help with legwork. They need help with everything. Recruiting people for. There's a lot of travel grants for people to go to Japan and help out, I'm sure.
Have you not seen the news in the last couple of days? Now,
you know, I'm too busy to see the news.
Let me just interrupt you here with some nuclear update, right?
Sure, please do.
Now, yesterday morning on the news, some feller that had been tracking the nuclear cloud from the time it first started burning over in Japan.
Lord, yes.
It came on over shore yesterday in California the first time that wind got here.
Oh, yeah.
The thing that spooks me, Don, is the, can I call you just short, Don?
Oh, yeah.
The thing that spooks me about is the, I know that it disperses in the cloud, but maybe not, you know.
No, it doesn't.
But
you have a lot of things. With condensation, you have some terrible things
the
with
degree of radiation would matter, too.
Well,
right?
the thing is, just realize, people, that the media is not on your side. They're on the side of the people that pay their bills. They're on the side of the corporations. The stockholders. You know, you might as well be watching Tony Robbins with his hypno teeth doing an infomercial on QVC with his big shiny teeth trying to convince you everything's all right. And then you find out at the end of the infomercial that what they're actually advertising is Auschwitz manufactured soap and lampshades.
Jeff Turner Show does not advertise or endorse for any person or persons associated with any companies that may be commercial or money making. Well, it's all right. I mean, we can't tell you these folks, you know. I mean, but Tony Robbins,
ain't nothing wrong with them folks either. I'm just saying, you know,
he's fair game discussion. It's
crass. To underestimate how crass the American media is would be a terrible mistake. These people will not tell you the truth. They will tell what the corporation.
Be all you can be, but just wear your gas mask. No, the rest of my thought was that they said that nuclear cloud had came on over California yesterday, but we're getting a direct.
We're getting it right now.
We're getting a direct westerly wind from California right now.
And realize, folks, there is no.
And we're higher in elevation.
No, we're getting it. We're getting it. The whole world's getting it. When Chernobyl happened, the whole world got it. They got poison in Ireland and Sweden and everywhere. The stuff was going off everywhere.
Well, you can see I've been close to some radiated something. The hairline's slowly receding back.
Well, but that's different. People always like to say, "Oh, the sun is radioactive."
Oh, that was my granny's oven that was left on.
Nonsense. Now, even the National Academy of Sciences fought for years after great scientists like John Goffman and Alice Stewart, I think is their name, and other people had proven that how dangerous ionizing radiation is. And they'll say beta doesn't penetrate the skin. Well, it doesn't. But what if your mouth is open? It goes right down your damn throat. It's so sorry. It's no joke. So they keep downplaying it. But finally, the National Academy of Sciences were overwhelmed. They admitted that there is no safe level of exposure to ion radiation. It all causes programmed cell death. It can, making you vulnerable to cancers. When the cell grows back, you can grow back a cancerous cell instead. Any amount of exposure at all, an X-ray, anything is bad. We're getting plenty of it from Japan already over here. They're pretending it ain't happening. It's going to get much worse.
Well, they did say yesterday, like I said yesterday morning, it hit California. The thing concerned me is we get direct westerly wind right now from California. This warm air we've been getting had that southerly flow, but there's a direct flow from California straight at us. And the thing that really concerns me is this, because see, we're up in the mountains here at a higher level, actually in the clouds a lot of the times during the spring and late fall, and so it concerns me that the amounts that does fall on our hands or get into our mouth or lungs would be even greater because we're higher up in elevation.
There is some truth to that, no doubt about it, and people always downplay it. That's just the corporations trying to talk.
Well, it's just 100-something years old nuclear technology. What the Marie Curie?
And Marie Curie, these people that were pioneers of it, died a horrible death because they didn't know what they were dealing with. And Albert Einstein knew what the deal was, and boy, was he was upset about it.
Cave fighting a bear or something.
He was upset about it, and I'm sure there's some good that can maybe come of it if we work it right. You got to think positive, but. Nuclear energy is like rain. My friend Paul Gunter, who used to work with me at Nuclear Information Resource Service, we had a budget crisis. Helen Caldecott was wonderful to have our staff on to Beyond Nuclear, so are all employed in the field still, which is brilliant. Thank you, Helen. And there's got Paul, who was Clamshell Alliance, fighting Seabrook back in the 70s, way back. He said that using fission to boil water, to turn a steam turbine, to turn a generator, to generate electricity is like ringing a doorbell with a cannon. It's just retarded. It's not something you want to do.
Y'all heard it here first on the Jeff Turner Live. Ringing a doorbell with a cannon. Now there's a term that's not used often. So
Yep. Well, that's what it is. I mean, all you're doing to make nuclear, you're turning a turbine. It's steam. It's
if you're
steam.
just tuning in late, this is my guest, Donald Kesey. He's talking about a little bit of the radiation and some of the effects and what maybe you can do here, we can do together is on this side of the world that may be some effectual help to them. If you're watching, we are Jeff Turner Live right now. He's got a song he's going to do. It's kind of an anti-nuke song, right?
Yeah, it's an anti-nuke song.
And you know me, I'm all about music on here, and so is my audience.
And
so.
all I love about Asheville, I was working 10 years in Washington, is everyone knows it's really darn square, and the people that
I have the most caring audience. I will take claim to that. Now, I may get a lot of arguments out of some of these other producers, but I have the most caring audience, and they really do. They support me. They support the neighborhoods they live in, and
I love Asheville. It's got a great
area.
vibe. I've been here 6 months. I'm loving it.
If you're watching this, hello to all the folks down at Asheville Terrace, Miss Gloria and Miss Helen I talked to this morning, a new friend. She was a very nice lady. I spoke to her around an hour on the phone this morning. Very nice woman. And want to say hello to all my family, Mama, Daddy, Norma, Robert, everybody. My mamas, my stepdaddies, all these good folks. And so anyway, this is my guest again, Donald Kesey. Give us a call if you're watching this, or if we're on the air and everything seems normal today for the show. Let me know, would you please? Give me a call here.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes they're watching and they're not watching. Last week it was beautiful outside, and I got like 50 calls in an hour.
It is beautiful outside today. Enjoy the day.
Beautiful
it's
spring.
nice.
There's flowers blooming all over the house over there earlier when I left, and big trees with blooms. I think those Bartlett pears are about to bust wide open.
Those are great.
remember, if you want to help yourself this year due to the economic strain and lack of work and employment, remember it's time to start a garden here in the next 2 to 3 weeks. Some stuff you can already have in the ground, your taters, your onions, stuff like that. and going back to our topic, a friend of mine was doing his thesis at the University of Texas, and his thesis was on radiation being picked up among the tubers, and as far as the root foods and stuff, taters, it's turnips.
One of the great tragedies in Chernobyl is that in Ukraine and Russia and Belarus, where this happened, where the fallout fell, one of the great delicacies are mushrooms, truffles, berries. And those are the things that carry radiation heavier than anything.
And they pick it up
real good. And Japan is famous with mushrooms. Again, it's making me cry.
They're like earthly thyroids, huh?
Yeah.
Pick up all the radiation.
And what I'm trying to do, just as a grassroots activist independently, is since I know my friends at the nonprofits are overwhelmed, if you're interested in volunteering to do anything to help the folks in Japan, including going over there sometime, there are C3s that have legitimate travel grants that can get you over there. Perhaps I already recruited a registered nurse that wants to go. Just putting out the word. Got more, people. But don't go to Japan if you don't want to mess up your genetic material. I had my 2 kids. I can't afford anymore. I'll go over there. I will get a vasectomy afterwards. I don't want someone having, a problem with that.
Now, I ain't going to call you an old man, but you are kind of older than some of these young kids around here.
Absolutely.
And they were actually wanting older men to come and volunteer for some of that help because the radiation affects.
There'll be a lot of sick people. There's going to be more than we can handle, and we need all the hands-on day we can get. It's like put up or shut up time for me. I've been doing this issue for 25 years, 10 years full-time, the last 10 years, If I don't show up with bells on in Japan, who is going to?
They had a lot of firefighters volunteering over yesterday.
Absolutely.
Now they're on the ground within 20 feet of a melting down.
These men are willing. These men are willing to give their lives for the common good, which is actually is common. People die for your sins every day. They really do.
That's why I've got a lot for the Japanese people. They are tough butts to beat, and
they are.
And
beautiful culture, beautiful place.
Smart, good folks, and my heart goes out to all those gentlemen that's close. Now at Chernobyl, we were discussing before the show came on that a lot of those pilots died within 4.5 to 5 years of flying over that zone.
Yeah, the pilot. Well, the thing is, there've been if you want to read real figures on Chernobyl casualties, I recommend going to the Greenpeace USA site. Maybe talk to Jim Rickey, who works for Greenpeace, finding out, or Michael Marriott at NEARS, or someone at Beyond Nuclear, one of these good organizations, find out the real deal. They have a lot of propaganda there. Lots and lots and lots of people have been dying. And Belarus, where most of the fallout fell, is run by a Stalinist dictatorship. There was a doctor who reported on Chernobyl heart condition, which we got an award-winning short documentary. We got an Academy Award called Chernobyl Heart. You should see it. It's a really moving. Children have this horrible effect. We have doctors who are volunteering to fix their hearts. That's what it was about. This guy, Dr. Bandashevsky, in Belarus, reported on it. He's like a 70-year-old man. He just was reporting honest medicine. They threw him in the gulag because they're Stalinists. One of my coworkers, Cindy Foker, is a wonderful worker now working at Beyond Nuclear, was at Nuclear Information Resource Service then. She got a campaign, got Amnesty International interested. It took a year or so. We got him out of the gulag, but they tried to work this 7-year-old man to death for writing a medical paper that was honest. So that's what they're up against in Chernobyl. They got most of the victims are under the fist of a Stalinist.
So even though the Cold War was technically over around that time,
it ain't over in Belarus. I tell you,
you still don't have freedom of speech in those areas. Right?
Ukraine is all right. Russia and Ukraine. And they're, I'm not saying they're not messed up in Russia and Ukraine, they are, but, Belarus is a whole, they might as well be under Pol Pot practically. It's real bad there. People don't know that generally. That's a lot of casualties there. But let me just say, you say something because I'm.
Well, go ahead. I was going to say go ahead now. My audience don't sit long without hearing some music, so if you can go ahead and pick them out.
That's what I love about Asheville. I came out of 10 years in Washington, D.C., full of all those snarky people that want to show you how important they are and read your resume and all that. And I don't like that a bit.
Only town in America where the mayor's a cokehead, though.
Well, Barry's better than most of the people in D.C. I can relate to that guy. At
Well, I
least,
actually heard the man was very effective at getting stuff done.
he
so
was. Oh, he did some great stuff.
Everybody's got a flaw.
He
or
was,
something.
yeah, he was having a hell. He did some great stuff and some terrible stuff. He's a folk hero because he was a man of the people. He just kind of got corrupted, you know. So it goes. But in any case, this is a song that I wrote for my ex-wife, mother of my youngest son. It's a member of the Pascua Yaqui tribe of Arizona, also part Cherokee, Apache, and just mestizo Mexican. And so I fell backwards through the looking glass into Indian country when we got married, you know. The fact that she was Indian wasn't very important at the time, that we were friends for 16 years before we got married, but boy, you get a family, you're there, you know, you're the guy with the stake in the game. You better walk softly and mind your manners in Indian country, of course, but, you know, I had some the credibility that you can't buy because I have a stake in the game. So we did she did the University of Maryland Native American Student Union, so she did a lot of powwows. We got John Trudell, an amazing activist. He was part of the occupation of Alcatraz for the American Indian Movement in '69. He was, you know, there was that horrible AIM Goons war about uranium mining up there in the '70s in Pine Ridge, and the FBI tried to undermine AIM by planting a bunch of people in there and framing Peltier and whatnot. Well, Trudell was along with that. '78, they told Trudell, I know you're going to march on the FBI, but don't you do it or we'll mess you up. And he's like, you can't intimidate me. You know, they did that night, somebody, and there's no accountability for this. Somebody burned his house in Nevada. They killed his wife and some of his children, you know. Killed the man's children. Burned his house down. He went in a dark space, came out as a poet, hooked up with some of Jackson Brown's musicians, has a great band called Bad Dog.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know, they got a traditional singer named Quiltman that does
great
the hey, stuff, and he does his poetry at Crazy Horse. We know, beautiful deep voice. Anyway, Trudell survived, thank God. But we did a thing with him headlining called No Nukes on Native Lands. We're fighting a nuke dump on this very poor Indian reservation called Skull Valley, and this was about Skull Valley and Yucca Mountain. Yucca Mountain's western Shoshone land, near the Nevada test site, and it's an earthquake zone. It's an insane place to
It's where
put
they
nuclear
keep
waste.
the aliens, too, right?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
But it's insane. It's an earthquake zone. There's hundreds of. I had a friend who was a geologist that was working for the NRC. He told me off the record, you know, putting nuclear waste in this Yucca Mountain is the most insane thing ever. It makes no damn sense at all from a geological perspective. And he's a geologist.
I'm gonna go over here and let you center up here in the screen and do
So this
that
one's
song.
called "Please Take Our Poison." It was written for the No Nukes on Native Lands benefit. So mostly it's addressing the Yucca Mountain and Skull Valley issues. The good news on Skull Valley, they're putting interim nuclear waste dump there. Interim, they'd leave it there forever. Of course, above ground, or near like planes flying over, all kinds of stuff, bombing range, idiotic idea. They were bribing this Indian reservation that was like 100 people, real poor. People took the bribes, had nice trucks, everyone else was starving to death. You know, just trying to tempt starving men, real sinful stuff. And it's called "Please Take Our Poison." I'll sing it for you. I put a new line in to address the current situation.
Mr. Donald Casey.
Please take our poison. Our poison's too strong. Please take our poison. We've had it too long. We're losing our profits and losing our face. 'Cause nobody wants our nuclear waste. Try to push it on 50 states and to raise your electric rates. Keep it safe, it's much too hard. No one wants it in their backyard.
That's a fact.
True. And we won in Skull Valley. We won. There's no nuke dump now, and we fought them and we won. We fought the law and we won. So please, Uncle Sam, take it tickets full of smallpox and all. You'll make them take it, you know their backs to the wall. Make fake tests to say they're moving safe, even ignore the earthquakes. There's money in poison, so we'll sell you a lie. Say the economy needs it, we don't care how many die. There's power in poison, so don't ask for fair play. Tell the people we don't care what they say anyway. It lasts 10,000 generations, causes cancer and mutations. Last 10,000 generations, causes cancer and mutations. We won't take it, we won't take it, we won't take it, we won't. Look what happened in Japan. There's a song.
You've been working on that one kind of recent too, but it goes all the way back to any nuclear disasters that they've had, and I mean,
it's it's been
several key points there. Nobody does want it in their backyard, but
No.
they're going to put it in somebody's backyard.
Well, the biggest joke I've heard in my life, and this is it's not really a funny joke, but it's they're talking about like, well, how do you mark a high-level nuclear waste dump so that people 10,000 years from now, and it's still dangerous, know that they can't dig there? And Crosby and Nash wrote a great song called "Don't Dig Here" about it on one of their records. It's not well known, but look for that. It's a great song. Crosby.
It's a little off topic, but I've wondered about that with other stuff, like, them towns out west that they used to burn down because all the anthrax and stuff, and now they're out there plowing it up, building a new neighborhood.
Oh yeah. Now they got towns out west where they got radioactive materials all over in the pavement that's dug up from. So they got a lot of stuff in the Four Corners there that's real bad. They got big multi-alien spawn in Moab. They got huge holes full of radiation in Laguna Pueblo and the Four Corners and all over the place. And you got the Nevada test site, which they have a Mother's Day demonstration coming up. You might want to go to if you're a volunteer. Want to volunteer for something good? Shanghai Network with the Western Shoshone, they host a Mother's Day demonstration where you can camp out for a week on Mother's Day and learn some stuff about the nuclear test site and all the water impacts there. God bless the late Corbin Harney, a medicine man that used to conduct the ceremony there. A good friend, more than a friend, and a real helper. He was about the water, and they got dirty gold there. They got radiation, and it's Western Shoshone land. The Ruby Valley Treaty says it should be their land. It was technically lost by a process of gradual encroachment, which is a joke.
A treaty's just another way to say we had more guns than you, we took your land, there's nothing you can do about it, and if you're nice, we'll let your remnant live.
Well, and people think that Indian people own their land here. They think a reservation actually belongs to the tribe. It does not, actually. Legally speaking, they're held in trust by the federal government for the tribe, which means there's a loophole about the size of your head or anything the federal government wants to ram down the Indians' throats.
Well, I got news for them, okay? All that stuff's good and well for all them white invaders and all them other folks that come with them over there, but this Indian right here, his family goes back 14,000 years here, so whether they like it or not, I own the whole country.
Yeah.
And if they don't like it, everybody can leave. How's that? I'll buy you a ticket, one of you, the rest have to buy your own.
Absolutely.
Well, I'm getting tired of all these groups, whining and bickering and complaining about stuff, and they didn't take time to make it any better in their home country that they came from, and then they want to get over here and upset the whole balance of life that we've known, and everything has changed and flip-flopped, and they've made this nuclear stuff. It's an animal they'll never get back in the cave. It's a beast.
No. It is Pandora's box. It makes Pandora's box look like a box of socks, man. It's like, it's the real deal. It's bad stuff.
All from the greed of men.
And it's all from the greed of men and from war and bad motivation. Now, I'm not saying it isn't possible that somehow we can turn things around, make things good, and somehow, possibly down the road, we can do something positive. You have to think positive. You have to think, what can I do? Remember, folks, this is a great saying from Margaret Mead. Never doubt that a small group of committed people can change the world.
Oh, that's true. Because this bunch that watches my show is that group of small people. They change the world every day.
Well, you go change the world because that's what it's about. Margaret Mead said, never doubt a small group of committed people can change the world because nothing else ever has.
They love their neighbors here. They feed the sheep here. They obey the word of God.
Oh, I've been
here.
homeless in Nashville. I've been fed and clothed and taken care of better than I would be just about anywhere. This is a good town with there are Christians here that actually read the good book and listen to the words of Jesus and live it. I'm not going to have an opinion too much on that publicly anyway, but I'll tell you, if you're gonna talk the talk, you better walk the walk. And they do that here. They do that here. It's beautiful.
Most people do, and I want to also give a shout out to Ray and his buddy. They're kind of a new show over with Torah Habasora, and I really like. I've been watching their show, and all I know is this. And of course, I grew up as a Baptist, Ray, and prayed to Jesus my whole life. And of course, I kind of kept waiting on him to come and with a miracle or something, and I always wondered why he didn't. And folks say, well, you got miracles every day, this, that, and everything else.
There's miracles in front of you every second. Every minute you stop smelling the flowers because there's miracles everywhere all the time.
All I wanted to say to them is that God bless them for what they're doing, trying to bring these sheep back to the fold. Mm-hmm. But whatever name that they pray to the Son of God in, hopefully, right, wrong, or otherwise, we are in the age of grace. And I'll be corrected. You can correct me if I'm wrong. And so hopefully God does allow our prayers to be transposed over into the Yeshua.
I don't think God wastes souls. As the comedian was talking about people being uptight about gay people, and he said, do you really think that God hates gay people and makes people know now that people are just born the way they are?
He don't hate them. He says, he hates that act, and it says straight out that it is an abomination to God, and I won't walk there, and I will not follow them in their abominable ways. And I want to shout out to the mayor of Asheville. Thank God you voted for your vote the way you did. And I know what they did anyway. But thank you for having good moral integrity, Mayor. I don't know if anybody's told you that, but Jeff Turner appreciates it. I thank you very much for standing up for it.
Excellent.
Well, and I do. I mean, people know where I stand, and they may not like what I say, but they know where I stand.
Tell the truth as you know it. That's all you can do.
If there wasn't a God in heaven, Donald, the whole deal is it's not natural. It's just not natural for male to have sexual relation or intercourse and stuff like that. You can't have babies that way.
Sure, well,
nor is it natural for female
myself,
or female.
I don't care what anybody does.
If it wasn't a God in heaven, it ain't right.
If I'm invited, it matters. If I'm not invited, people can do whatever they want. It's not really my business. That's my opinion on it. It's like,
you're gonna let me pick a song now since you're here?
I wanted to. Yeah, you should pick a song. I wanted to play something to lighten things up, just because I feel like I laid a bunch of heavy stuff on things, and I don't want to leave people in a bad space.
Well, no, I don't believe that they are. I think that they're actually seeking information on stuff they can do, and actually, now what was it they were saying? If you think, if you just got to have some iodine, potassium iodine, it's actually in most supplemental vitamins that you can buy straight off the shelf, so you don't have to go crazy.
Iodine. I don't. My thyroid's already fried, so when I go to Japan, I have my kids. My thyroid's where it doesn't matter,
I got a supplement that I take, and it's I got it at one of the places down towards the mall or something. It says hair, nails, and skin. It's designed for that, but it has like 75% of the daily requirements of potassium iodide in it. So
and people, you can find me. I hang out at Firestorm. I'm around. You can find me. And if you have any questions, seek me out there. I'm a freelance actor.
If you got malaria, they sell quinine over to the store.
Let me do it. I'm gonna do a real short, funny song. A real short, funny song, and hand it over to you to do what you like.
Okay. Well, I appreciate Mr. Donald Keesey.
I want to put out some fun, some mirth into the world after all that grimness. So this is a song. The full title, which you're never gonna write on a label, because it would just wrap around the whole label, is Nobody's got cold hands in the love scenes that the movies are on TV.
That's a lot of subtitling to
It
do on
certainly is.
copyright for me.
Yeah, you betcha. Nobody's got cold hands in the love scenes that the movies are on TV. And nobody's got cold hands in the love scenes, even if they got cold feet. I'll make you shiver with my icy paws, my dear. I'll make you shiver, touch your back with my ice cold beer. Nobody's got cold hands at the love scene, she's gnawing on my lips. Nobody's got cold hands at the love scenes, I got cold hands on my hips. I'll make you shiver with my icy paws, my dear. I'll make you shiver, and I'm shivering in fear. Take it away, Jeff.
You done? I was trying to figure out what them lines is on that TV. I've never had that.
I don't know what's going on there, but let's hear something you got.
We're
man. I like your
experiencing
music.
technical difficulties. Of course, you're familiar with that with my show. Listen, if you're out there and you're watching, give us a call if you're watching.
Please do, yeah.
It's 828-216-6922. If you're watching on the internet worldwide right now, we're live in your particular time zone as well. Give us a call from anywhere in the world if you like to. Some days we get calls, some days we don't. Some days I have guests on here to play songs all day, and I get 100 calls, and then so. But if they don't see us today, they do watch during the week. I've got
Excellent.
like 100 calls this week.
I heard
This is
good
the
things
house.
about that. Yeah, I was talking about URTV having you come down here with the Dr. Bird and different stuff like that.
Yeah.
And people are like, yeah, we like this guy's show. People talking about your show. They like it. They like the fact that you stay out of the way. You let people do their thing. You're like not overwhelming and having an agenda and stuff like that. I think that's cool too.
Well, I think that's why the place is here, and I try to let folks come in and try to experience it, and see what it's like in a small studio version. Now, they've got the big studio bar for rolling cameras and curtains and all kinds of room to do of stage plays and acts and things. So, but this, this is a place for musicians. This is a place for free speech, and folks, that's what it's all about. We got a commissioners meeting coming up on those very topics coming up this in 2 weeks or so, and so remind you of that. If you so inclined to go see the commissioners, that'd be a good evening because we all going to be down there. So it'd be a good evening for a turnout. We can kind of surround town like they did over in Egypt there a few weeks back. We're gonna take what's ours and use it in a polite kind of way. But yeah, so I try to do whatever my songs I feel like playing. And I really didn't have no agenda today. I think I'm doing extra shows. See, we do 26 per season, or you can do up to that many. And I think I had already completed my shows for the season, but I just love doing this, and I like the people having something to do. And oh yeah, we were trying to come up with some things for this little country album I was doing.
Cool.
Yeah, and the art department got to playing around a little bit too much, so the folks hadn't seen this. I was thinking about using the. There were several versions, with the picture on the back and the deal, and that was all right. And here's what we're looking at, ladies and gentlemen. You see, it's kind of a black label on that one. But anyway, the one that, and then the art department started thinking, well, it's just, they don't even show up on there. Do you see that?
Man, we can't tell if y'all
Right
can see
through.
it because what we're seeing on our screen here is weird.
It's not holes in there. It just ain't showing up.
Yeah, it goes thugh like you see trees right
It's
through
the
the
blue
paper. I don't
screen,
know if
the
that's
blue
the
screen
case, but,
effect. That's why they tell Julie Wonder not to wear blue and teal green dresses. It could be trouble over there. She'd be just a talking head, just another talking head. But that's what they think I am. That's why they like my show. Boy, it's crazy, man.
This is what I like about Asheville is that DC talking heads. That stuff puts me to sleep.
Did they
they're like
let him out?
Sure, talk an issue, but be sure to bring guitars. No one likes to talk in this town. They're boring. I'm like, I'm with that. I'm talking guitar boring. Bring your guitar, play a song. That's great. I mean, it's what a great attitude, man. It's this town is definitely a step ahead of the game.
Well, you may not get rich in this town, but people do appreciate music and they appreciate.
Ain't nobody getting rich off music anymore.
They appreciate articulate, they appreciate tactful, they appreciate resourceful, they appreciate you, Dave, for holding your tongue under some circumstances that actually require some screaming and some hollering and some cussing.
Oh yeah, if I was to tell you how I felt about Japan, man, you would hear like
be a lot of bleeps.
It would sound like Yoko Ono screaming at the top of her lungs for about an hour, man. I felt gut punched by that because I know
bleep.
I ain't breathed that for like 10 plus years, and you know. When you know this and you know how much they're shining you on, you know how much worse it is than it is. I felt gut punched. I'd be like tearing up and stuff. It was rough. It was rough.
It's terrible to know that there's such an extreme loss of life and such a tragedy beyond proportion to begin with. And then when we put our man-made stuff there to just kick them in the teeth a little bit more with that nuclear stuff.
So you send if you pray, do that. If you don't pray, send vibes.
My audience does pray, and they're not praying to strange gods either. So their prayers are heard. Their prayers are heard and effective.
No, prayers are always heard. You can pray to the wrong thing, and the right thing will pick it up sometimes. Already.
There you go. I wrote this a long time ago. Well, that's kind of sad. I don't want to do that. He's talking about doing something funny or something, you know, or maybe trying to leave with a good note. So it's hard to do any kind of song without taking a trip through mental land if it's got a story to it, you know.
Sure enough.
It's all country stuff, what I was doing today.
Country is great. I play out as a country artist here now. I'm trying to do a country thing called Donkey Tonk, Blues Busters Review. My name's Don Kesey. Everyone's like, what? How do you spell that? Whatever. And I'm like, heck with it. 2 E's for my last name. How it's really spelled, Donkey Tonk. You ever see that? That's me playing country. You see Don Quixote, that's me doing standards.
Donkey Tonk.
If I'm doing rock and roll, who knows what it'll be called? I love it
cool.
all. And I will never sing a song that I'm not feeling. You know, you can't sell a song unless it's in your soul. So, don't talk to me about selling out, but I like to sell. I'll play your weddings and bar mitzvahs, whatever, but I will never sing a song I don't love. Never.
Well, folks, I'm going to just pull out one of the old standard ones you're used to me singing, the memories to make. I get a lot of calls saying they really like and enjoy that. I got some calls this week saying that they like that song. I almost saw Maggie cry, so I'll try to do it again here in a minute before the show is over with. We're about halfway through it here. Thanks for watching us at URTV Channel 20 here in Asheville and Buncombe. If you're watching us live online around the world, thanks for doing that. The call-in number here, we are live on Saturday. What's the day? The March the 17th
19th,
or something like that.
Yesterday was the 18th. I had a gig, so I know. I played at Mike's side pocket. I didn't know you had to bring your own PA, so I had to shout like a Southern diplomat or whatever it is.
You gotta make them. You gotta
campaign shouting like a Southern.
Sometimes you have to stand there on the stage and just stare at the audience until they get quiet. Like
hey, I used to busk in Central Park. They gotta hear like a block in every direction, or they ain't gonna be getting the purses out. You can't project. You might as well not show up. You know.
Yes, I still have some memories to make. I still have some memories to make. I still have untraveled roads, unused paths today. I never knew that much of love, but what I did, for heaven's sake, yes, I still have some memories don't you, Don?
Ooh, I can't remember. I think I do. I forgot. Memories to make. Sweet,
So,
that's a beautiful song, man.
Yeah, I like
Real
that
good.
one. I wrote that one actually before they cut my lung out, but it's worked out good since they cut
You're
my
singing
lung
one lung, man. I would never agree. Boy, you sing
Left
better.
arm's wired on, 8 surgeries at the VA.
Oh,
I'm doing
Lord.
real good. I don't know about other people complaining about getting beat up over it. They just want to give me a pain pill. Other than that, they've been good as gold to me, and they've kept me alive, and I've had the best surgeons,
Well,
the
you
best
know,
nurses,
that's a
the
shame of
best
it, is
support
it?
staff.
I know. I have so many friends that need painkillers for one thing or another for legitimate reasons, and
Well, the
people are
sheriff
just
keeps
ridiculous
talking about
it.
prescription pain pill use, the sheriff and the police chief here, and I don't know where they're getting it. They ain't getting it from the VA because they won't give me nothing, you know. But this must be these quack doctors
I have
in the
one
civilian
friend. I have a
world.
lot of friends with disability with like terrible back things and what you got stuff like that, and they just deny people pain medication because that Harrison Act awareness, that just stupid mentality of punish the sick or whatever.
Yeah, punish
But
the sick,
There
beat
I
up
have
on
one-
the vets.
I have one friend who gets enough pain medication, and she survived breast cancer twice, bless her soul. You know, what, you gotta be supposed to be dead twice before they give you the right amount of pain medication? What is wrong with this
mastectomies and
country,
stuff.
man?
Yeah, that's terrible, man.
Pain pills can be fun. That doesn't mean you shouldn't have them if you got pain. Just because someone's partying on them doesn't mean that you can't have them because people are idiots. Lord Almighty.
I'm gonna
Help
do
country.
this, and they ain't heard this in a while. It's kind of different. It's called "I've Seen That Look Before," and it's kind of Jim Reevish.
All
Kind of
right.
things. I always, when I wrote a song, if
All
I heard
right.
it, it'd be in and like, but it's, you know, I'm kind of moving at a clip, but. There's no love in your eyes. They've lost love's sweet surprise. Now they look so much like a walking out that door. I've seen that look before. I've seen that look before. There's no smile on your face. There's no love in your heart. You want to change, but what are you changing for? I've seen that look before. I've seen that look before. Go ahead and run, but you won't be happy running from yourself. Go ahead and change, but you can't change nothing acting like somebody else. Where are you going from here? Or what are you looking for? You know what you want, but you don't know what's in store. I've seen that love before. I've seen that love before. This is where I need a real good high girl voice. I've seen that love before. I've seen that look before. And you go through, you think about lots of stuff when you write a song, and I can see the old pictures in my head from the poor deceased folks after the atomic blast in World War II, and I could see there was no love in those eyes. There was, you know, they lost love, sweet surprise. You know, just they lost life. You know, and I mean, And of course, folks, you don't want to be looking in the eyes of dead folks and stuff like that. But
just
some
remember-
of us that was soldiers and military people have had to do that thing more than once. You know.
I just remember as a young boy, I was always curious about the world. When I was old enough to read the book Hiroshima by John Hersey, which is a real concise story of survivors of Hiroshima and their experience. And they're called Hibakusha. I've done Hiroshima Day concerts there every August since like 1985, off and on for 25 years. So that's a regular gig for me in D.C. At 25 years ago, me and my friend Joe, I did a "Come and Stand at Every Door. Oh, no one hears my song." Beautiful song. Birds.
So I'm Merle Kilgore a little bit.
You know that Birds album 5D. Wow, that's good. But I Come and Stand at Your Door. If it doesn't make you cry, you're a dead man. Check your pulse. But we did that in '85, and there's some news footage of me and this teenage kid doing it. So we go back on the Hiroshima. Anyway, I read about Hiroshima. I was like 10 years old, and I was like, wow. The thing that is really intense to me right now is I think about like, you read about Hiroshima, that people survived the Hibakusha, their experience. Realize, people, that what's going on in Japan is on a much larger scale, much more radiation. In Chernobyl, I hesitate to use the word lucky because, I have a lot of friends from Ukraine where they can get out. And I wish I had friends from Belarus. I don't. I got friends from Russia that work on these things. And the word lucky doesn't belong in the sentence. But they're fortunate in one aspect, which is that the fuel that was put in to Chernobyl was freshly put in. It goes in as uranium, and it heats up over time, gets hotter and hotter. They call it spent fuel. That's propaganda. It ain't spent.
Yeah.
It's irradiated fuel.
Still pretty hot.
It's too hot to handle. They don't take it out because it's not useful anymore. They put it out because it's too hot to handle, literally. Like, that it's millions and millions and millions of times more radioactive at the end of its fuel cycle than it is when it goes in. Now, Chernobyl people were lucky. Forgive the word, people, because I know survivors of that, and I don't want to put that out there. But
that kind of is a lame word to describe.
Oh my Lord! I got a lot of Ukrainian friends and people who victims of that sort of thing. You don't want to say that, but in any case, they were a little bit fortunate in that it was recently added fuel, so the radiation levels were less than what they would be. Trouble with Japan, it has older fuel, it is hotter. So we're talking about exponentially more radiation than Chernobyl, and Chernobyl was exponentially more radiation than Hiroshima. So when I was reading that, had my heart broken by that account of the Hibakusha's survival. Sorry, I feel this stuff. You have to really realize that the people in Japan are already going through and will be going through much, much worse than that. This is making Hiroshima look like Disneyland. It's horrible. It's just horrible. It's on a huge scale. We're talking about gigantic amounts of contamination, and it is really sad. It's really
like you
sad.
said, both.
And that fuel ain't new in Japan. That's a lot of fuel that's been sitting there a long time. It is exponentially more radioactive than the fuel that was released from Chernobyl. And they lie. They say that in 3 Mile an Hour.
3 of those things are.
3 Mile an Hour 3 Mile an Hour was a partial core meltdown. They didn't admit that for years, but they finally said, yeah, that was a partial core meltdown. They found a lot of stuff from there. And my friend Mary Osborne documented, a lot of photographs of mutations.
Was that the Love Canal junk and all that mess?
Well, Love Canal, my friend Lois Gibbs worked on Love Canal. She also works on TMI. People all come together. When I came and started over Greenpeace in '85, I would talk about persistent organic pollutants and radiation and stuff that, to me, what I find compelling is health. It's radiation health and persistent organic pollution, which are just as bad in health, and things like PCBs, dioxin, vinyl, that sort of thing. Aluminum factories, paper mills with dioxin,
polyvinyl chloride,
PVC.
Thing you got
there's a great documentary called Blue. There's a great documentary called Blue Vinyl.
I love that white plumbing in my house.
Have you ever seen Blue Vinyl? It's a fantastic documentary. There's some good stuff out there. There's something I want to see called Drumbeat from Mother Earth. My friend Tom Goldtooth has Indigenous Environmental Network. It's one of the best Indian things out there. And they did a video that's kind of hard to find. You can track it on the net with Greenpeace as a co-sponsor called The Heartbeat for Mother Earth. And it talks about persistent organic pollutants and their impacts on Native American communities, and you know, my own family's tribe, the Yaqui. My tribe, I'm a little Polynesian, but I'm not Native American that I know. I might be Shawnee back in 1720 or something. I don't know, but who can tell? In any case, it's my family tribe, it's my son's tribe and my ex-wife's tribe, and she's a great friend. My stepson's tribe. They in Mexico were given the what was the DDT when it was outlawed in the U.S.
Yeah.
The U.S. decided to make a lovely gift to the Mexican
bug
government.
killer, wasn't it, or something like
Yeah,
that?
it was bug killer. It was used as an insecticide up till the 70s, and they found out how bad it was, and it's Agent Orange and that sort of stuff. It never goes away. It causes all kinds of damage. Well, they gave it to the Mexican government and the Guatemalan government, the lovely Mexicans and Guatemalans. They said, what are we going to do with the Mexicans? We have a Zona Yaqui, an Indian reservation for the Yaqui with their sacred pueblos. I know, we'll give it to them for agriculture for free. So they had an agricultural zone in the Zona Yaqui where somebody did the most heartbreaking, one of the worst things I've seen. They did a developmental thing with drawing ability of children. And they found that the children in the agricultural zone of the Zona Yaqui where they were using the DDT heavily, they couldn't do anything. They could like barely draw a line. It was like gibberish.
It was like they had liquid chemical lobotomies or something.
It was exactly like that. They did have chemical lobotomies, thanks to the Mexican government, thanks to the American government giving them DDT as a gift.
Up with them unique
it was
terms.
garbage. They should have disposed of it. They gave it to the Indians instead. They did the same thing in Guatemala. This is a heartbreaking documentary.
Well, Don, I hate to do it. If you come back in another weekend or two, in a week or so, maybe we start a new season and we'll talk some more about this and maybe give us an update on what your plans are. We're down to the last 5 or 10 minutes. I'm never sure because these clocks are not atomically right. They're atomic clocks, but they're not atomically correct, you know.
That's my style. Just play it
I
as it
want
lays.
to reintroduce you as you're leaving here. This is Mr. Donald Keeson. He's came on. He's talked about nuclear and different things today and the effects it's had on folks and maybe what we can do a little bit to help out. And he's going to be around for a few weeks, so hopefully we can get it back on.
You find me if you want to volunteer to do something to help the organizations that are trying to work on the nukes in Japan situation.
You're around town, right?
Yeah, track me down. Probably the best place to find me through be Firestorm. I'm there a lot, and then Firestorm are very into help and activism, so they wouldn't mind if someone called looking for an activist named me. I hope.
I forgot a few people, so I'm going to go ahead and give them a shout. I wanted to shout out to my good friend Rick Prophet. I think he's still over at the VA doing some things up that way, and I wanted to, there's some other folks I wanted to shout out to today, and it was on my tongue. And anyway, folks, give us a call. Still live here, I believe we are. Let us know you're watching, or somebody let me know I'm on the air, because I really don't know. They've lost the cable feed here. Looks like, I don't know what that was. We may be off there now. I'm not even sure. So, but in the advent that I'm still on the air, I want to say hello to those folks and all my buddies at the VA, and thank you so much for all the stuff that you've done over the years, and the veterans that's returning. Thank you for everything that you've been doing for us here of recent, and thanks for all you're going to continue to do in the future as the new leaders of America. You will be emerging. And there's Miss Gloria. Are we still on the air? Well, ain't nobody ever called me, so I'm going to go ahead and hang up. I was going to do one more song, but I appreciate you calling me. Let me know, is everything okay? You can hear us and see us and everything? That's our dear friend, Miss Gloria, over here. She's
Mucho gusto, Gloria.
Yeah, okay, I was going to do that one, so thanks for reminding me. And Miss Gloria reminded me I was supposed to do Maggie Cry again, so I'm going to do that. And we thanks everybody for watching at Asheville Terrace. You tell them I love them all down there. All right, Gloria, bye-bye. Yeah, she's a long-time friend, and I've known her for several years now, and they're good people, you know. And
Excellent.
this is a song I wrote for Miss Maggie Lauder. Some of you heard the story already, but she used to work for the Asheville Citizen Times, and I'm not even got it on that page, it's just in my head. But her frosty hair and blue eyes spark my feelings as I played my old guitar and sang my song. And to sing was sad, oh yes, but it was true. The story that I told her made her blue. Time has passed the bridge and I'm still singing. And my old guitar it still plays its harmony. She never really knew how much I loved her, or what her inspiration's done for me. And I almost saw Maggie crying. You could tell by the way the moisture falling on her eye. And I almost saw Maggie crying. It was sad, oh yes, but it was true. The story that I told her made her blue. It was sad, oh yes, but it was true. The story that I told her made her blue. And I almost saw Maggie cry. It kind of goes something like that.
That is a pretty
Well, I ain't
song.
done that
That
in a
is
while.
really moving. I need to find the story behind it because I see
And I
there's a
wrote
story.
that right after she had done an interview for me to put my face in the paper and all that
Wow.
back in I think it's 1985, really.
I gotta look
I've got
that
a
up.
copy at the house.
That's a
but-
heavy song. There's obviously a
Oh,
heavy
well,
story
she just
behind
impressed me, man. She's got the bluest eyes, like there's the sky outside
That's
on a Saturday morning, you know.
that.
Just
You can
a
feel that
beautiful
one.
woman.
You can feel that came right from
Well,
the heart.
she's just very good. She's the first one that says, "You're very articulate." I'm like, I didn't even know what she meant for a minute. You know, I was just stunned by her beauty. She's just
Oh,
beautiful.
yeah.
But I remembered I was there for a music interview. You know,
my.
she was a married lady and all that. You don't mess around with stuff like that. You know,
No,
but
no.
I did. I
You
really
gotta
did
appreciate. You gotta
her.
appreciate when someone gives you a little respect on that
Oh,
sort of thing.
no,
It's
that
nice.
means, you know, and
Don't take it wrong, but it's nice to get a little
and
tip of the
sometimes
hat.
you get songs, you know, but and that one just happened, and so I don't even know if I'm still on there or not. We got 2 minutes left according to this clock. I'm probably not.
I
but
could
just
do a
in
real
case.
quick one on that
Just in
one.
case.
Do another song, man. That's beautiful.
What occurred